Okay, I'll try and make this video as quick as possible. I don't want to spend 3 hours uploading to YouTube. So what I'm going to teach you is how to get this working correctly if the buttons have all been remapped and now they're not working anymore. So I'll be quick as I can. The easiest way to do it is to get a remote that actually does work, that hasn't been messed up, and press start. And then go down to configure inputs and then press your A button and start from there. Chances are you're already aware of that, and you've gone through that, and you've kind of messed up both of the controllers. In that case, you're going to want to grab the remote and press page up or channel up, and that brings you to the same menu. I'm going to go down to configure input, and now do this along. I want you to make sure you're doing this along with me in the video so that you don't fall for a couple of the things that easily mess up on this. So I'm going to press configure input. It says, are you sure you want to configure the input? I'm going to press yes. Now it's saying there's 2 gamepads detected and to hold a button on your device. Now, they probably could have done a better job explaining this to you, but when they say hold a button, they mean hold it and just keep holding it. Don't press it and let go, but hold it and just keep holding it until you get to the next screen. So I'll do that right now with you. So I'm gonna grab this A button and I'm just gonna hold it, and then you can see the screen here. I'm gonna press it right now and I'm holding it. See how long that took? And I'm actually still holding the button. Now what happens, I just now let it go. What happens if you mash buttons, if you press a button and press another button and press another button, by the time you get in here, it's read those button presses, and your D-pad up is already got the entry fill has already got a button 0 there, and your D-pad down has got whatever other button you pressed. It could say button already used or something, but chances are if you do it wrong, you end up with an input on your D-pad up, which you don't want. And then, well, you've probably already been through this, and you've already messed it up, so you know what I'm talking about. But we're in, and there's no errors right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do the input. So I'm going to do up, down, left, right, start, select, A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder, and now I'm all done with all of the buttons that are programmable. The next key thing you want to do is you just want to take and press any button you want. I'm going to press the A button and just hold it down. So I just pressed it and I held it down. I'm going to press it again and hold it down. And every time it says not defined there, you want to press it again and hold it down. If you just press it, you're going to see, you've probably already seen it. It says already taken. But if I press it and just hold it down, it says not defined. So I'm just going to keep pressing until I get to the bottom of the list here. And then one last tip, actually second to last tip, on this one for the hotkey, you definitely want to make sure you press your select button for the hotkey, and it'll be button 10. So I'll press the hotkey. It says button 10. Everything's configured perfectly. At this point we can press OK, but before we do that, I want to show you, once you get to this point, you can actually scroll up, and if if your select and start were backwards, you didn't realize you were pressing the wrong buttons, you can come up here and you can, at this point you can adjust it, you can change it, which I'm not going to do because I've already got it perfect. Okay, so now the final tricky part of this is this part will get you every time if you don't know what the issue is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it right here on the camera. You see it says OK. I'm just going to tap the A button and let go, and watch how long it takes. See how long it took to get to the next screen? And the problem with that is if you tap it and you don't see nothing happen, you're going to tap it again, you tap it again, you tap it again, and if you do that, you end up like this. Or even worse, you end up on the next screen where you're configuring another remote. So in order to get out of here, you're going to use this remote and flip it over, and you're going to press your escape key on here. Which, if I can see it, if I can find it. Okay, so I'm going to press escape. Alright, so now I'm back to the main menu. We can go back in here and we can configure another remote if you want. Both of mine are working correctly now, so I'm not going to, but you see how it works, and you see where the easy parts are to mess up. One last thing before I go is if you decide to reprogram this remote, I know some of the remotes I've done, I've made this up here your A, I believe, and then this is your B button, which as you're going through the menus, if you press that, it'll be select, and if you press that, it'll be back. And that was simply because this button here, that's a mouse toggle, and when I programmed those, I didn't realize that if that mouse toggle is on, you can't, it takes away these inputs, and it turns those into mouse buttons. But if it's off, these actually, you can actually program these. So most of the remotes that I've done, this is select, and that's back, or button A and button B. So if you do come back into this menu here and configure inputs, and you hold down one of these, and you end up reprogramming this remote, keep in mind that you want to make sure that, you know, if you're pressing these and they're not showing up in that menu as an input, you'll want to go through and do it again and turn off the mouse, which usually when these things are sitting around, the mouse isn't activated. Alright, so that's about it. I hope that helps you out. I'll be making other videos on other issues with this system, as far as, I think I'll make one, the next one I make will be changing the background music, or turning the background music off altogether, or just adding music to it. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye.